Are you sick of coming home to a space that feels chaotic and noisy? What if you could turn your living room into a calm retreat that brings the peaceful vibes of Japan right into your home? Today, I'm diving deep into Japanese-style indoor garden design tips and ideas that can totally transform your space into a haven of tranquility. I'm going to show you how to build an indoor garden that isn't just a collection of plants, but a whole experience. A slice of Japanese serenity that helps melt away the everyday stress. We're talking about simple design changes, clever ideas for integrating nature indoors, and practical tips that anyone can follow, even if you're not a design pro. I'm here to break down everything step by step, so that by the end of this video, you'll have plenty of ideas to bring that calm, zen energy into your home. Every day, so many of us battle a constant rush of stress, clutter, and noise. When you come home after a long day, you shouldn't have to step into chaos. You deserve a space that relaxes you and gives you back your energy. Yet many of us struggle to find that balance between modern living and nature's calming embrace. The challenge is real. How do you create a calming, meditative space in a busy home without doing a complete overhaul? How can you bring in the elements of traditional Japanese design, where every detail is thought out and every element has its place, without spending a fortune or turning your home into something you can only dream about? Let's start by talking about the heart of Japanese design. In Japan, nature and simplicity go hand in hand. One of the most important ideas is wabi-sabi, which is all about finding beauty in the imperfect and the transient. When you design an indoor garden with a Japanese twist, you embrace natural textures, subtle colors, and a sense of balance that makes even a small space feel expansive. Think of it as curating a mini landscape inside your home, a place where every stone, plant, and piece of wood has a purpose and contributes to the overall calm. Now, before you grab your phone and start scrolling for the perfect potted plant, let's break down the basics. First, you need to choose the right spot. It doesn't have to be a large room. Even a cozy corner can become your personal sanctuary. The key is to let natural light do its magic. If you have a room with lots of windows or a spot that gets morning sun, that's your best bet. Natural light is a vital ingredient because it not only nurtures the plants, but also uplifts your mood. If natural light is scarce, think about investing in a couple of simple LED lamps designed to mimic daylight. They're not expensive, and they do wonders for keeping your green friends healthy. The next step is selecting the right plants. Japanese gardens aren't about having a ton of green everywhere. It's about choosing a few select species that bring texture, form, and color without overwhelming the space. Consider small, elegant plants like bonsai trees or miniature bamboo. These aren't just trendy, they're a nod to centuries-old traditions. Bonsai trees teach you patience and appreciation for nature's slow, deliberate beauty. Bamboo, with its tall, slender leaves and gentle sway, offers a sense of fluidity that is both calming and energizing. You might also consider ferns and mosses, which add a lush, soft texture without taking up too much visual space. Once you've got your plants sorted, let's talk about the design layout. Japanese style is all about balance and negative space. In many modern homes, we tend to fill every inch with stuff. But here's the secret. Less is more. Arrange your plants and decorative items in a way that leaves room for your eyes to rest. You want to create little pockets of calm rather than a cluttered mess. Think about grouping items in odd numbers rather than even ones. It might sound strange, but there's a natural rhythm in the way our eyes are drawn to groups of 3 or 5. For example, you might have 2 bonsai trees on one side of a low wooden table, balanced by a single striking stone sculpture on the other. This asymmetry can create an engaging visual conversation without feeling busy. Now, no Japanese garden would be complete without the element of water. A small indoor water feature can do wonders for your space. Whether it's a tabletop fountain with gently cascading water or a wall-mounted water panel, the sound of water is incredibly soothing. It masks the background noise of modern life and helps you focus on the here and now. The trick is to keep it simple and elegant. Choose designs with clean lines and natural materials like stone or bamboo. You don't need a large pond. Even a modest fountain can evoke the same calming effect if placed thoughtfully. And remember, the sound of trickling water can become a part of your daily meditation, inviting you to pause and take a moment for yourself. Lighting is another crucial element. The right lighting can transform your indoor garden from a mere arrangement of plants into a dynamic, living space. In Japanese design, light is used to highlight the natural beauty of every element, from the smoothness of a stone to the delicate leaves of a bonsai tree. If you can, let natural light be your primary source, but don't be afraid to layer in some warm, ambient lighting for the evenings. A couple of simple floor lamps or hidden LED strips can create soft, diffused light that makes your indoor garden feel like a living work of art. Play around with the placement of lights until you find a balance that highlights the natural curves and textures of your setup without overpowering them. Let's not forget the importance of materials. Japanese design often uses natural materials like wood, stone, and paper. These materials bring warmth and authenticity to your space. Consider incorporating elements like a wooden bench or a low table made from reclaimed wood. A simple stone tray can serve as both a decorative and functional piece. Imagine arranging your bonsai on it, or using it to hold small natural elements like shells or smooth pebbles. Even small details like using paper lanterns or screens can add a subtle touch of Japanese flair without making your space feel gimmicky. It's all about thoughtful details that contribute to an overall sense of harmony. Another tip is to mix modern convenience with traditional aesthetics. You don't have to ditch modern design entirely, rather, you can blend it in a way that respects the old and the new. For example, a modern minimalist chair paired with a traditional Japanese floor cushion can create an interesting dialogue between eras. In today's world, we appreciate technology and comfort, so why not let them coexist with natural design elements? Modern water features, smart lighting, and even indoor air purifiers can all be integrated into your Japanese-style garden without detracting from its natural charm. It's this balance between the old and the new that can really make your indoor garden stand out. Now, I want to address a common challenge: space limitations. Not everyone has a big, open room to create a sprawling indoor garden, but that doesn't mean you can't capture the essence of Japanese design. Small spaces call for creative solutions. Consider vertical gardens. Install a few shelves or hanging planters to display your plants. A slim, tall bonsai can be a focal point, and you can hang delicate planters with trailing plants or even moss. The key is to use the vertical space so that even a tiny corner feels lush and inviting. And if you're tight on space, remember that the overall vibe isn't about the quantity of plants, but the quality of the design. A few well-chosen items arranged with care can have the same impact as a larger setup. Now let's dive deeper into the process of designing your space. Start with a blank canvas. Clear away any unnecessary clutter that might distract from your design goals. The beauty of Japanese style is in its simplicity. Once you have your clear space, think about what you want your indoor garden to say about you. Do you want it to be a place of calm and meditation? Or do you want it to be an area where you can entertain and impress your friends with its unique design? Your vision will guide your choices. Maybe you imagine soft, warm light playing off natural wood and stone. Or perhaps you see sleek, modern lines blending seamlessly with nature's curves. Spend a little time with a notebook, sketching out ideas or jotting down what you'd like to achieve. This planning phase might seem extra, but it really pays off when you start placing items in your space. As you start arranging your garden, keep in mind that every element should serve a purpose. In Japanese design, nothing is random. Every plant, stone, or piece of furniture should contribute to the overall balance. For instance, if you decide to place a water feature on one side of the room, balance it with a grouping of plants or a sculpture on the other side. This doesn't mean everything has to be perfectly symmetrical, but there should be a natural flow that leads the eye from one element to the next. Try to imagine how a visitor would move through the space. You want to create a sense of discovery, a journey through different zones of calm, each with its own character. One way to create that sense of journey is by playing with different heights and layers. Place taller plants or objects at the back and shorter ones at the front to create depth. Use platforms or risers to add visual interest. For example, you might have a small wooden platform that elevates a particularly striking bonsai, drawing the viewer's eye upward. This layering effect not only adds dimension to your indoor garden, but also makes the space feel more dynamic. It's like creating a miniature landscape where every layer has a story to tell. And remember, the beauty of Japanese design is in its ability to tell a story without saying a word. Speaking of stories, let's talk about color. When it comes to Japanese design, the color palette is usually soft, muted, and natural. Whites, creams, soft browns, and greens dominate the scene. These colors help reinforce the sense of calm and cleanliness that is so integral to the style. However, don't be afraid to add a pop of color here and there. A vibrant red accent or a deep indigo cushion can serve as a focal point and draw attention to a particular area of your garden. Just be sure that any bright colors are used sparingly so that they don't overpower the overall serene vibe. The goal is to keep the space light and airy, with enough contrast to keep it visually interesting without becoming distracting. Now let's address maintenance, a topic that often scares people away from indoor gardening. One of the biggest misconceptions is that creating a Japanese-style indoor garden requires a lot of upkeep. The truth is, when you design your garden with simplicity in mind, maintenance becomes part of the experience rather than a chore. Many of the plants traditionally used in Japanese gardens are hardy and low maintenance. Bonsai, for example, might look intricate, but with the right care, they can thrive indoors without needing constant attention. And water features, once set up, usually require only periodic cleaning. The key is to choose elements that suit your lifestyle. If you're not the type who loves spending weekends tending to plants, opt for species and features that are known for their ease of care. Let's pause for a moment to explore one of the most transformative ideas in Japanese design, the concept of ma, or negative space. Negative space isn't just empty space. It's a deliberate part of the design that helps to balance the elements and give your garden room to breathe. In our modern lives, we're often surrounded by clutter and overload. Incorporating negative space in your indoor garden can feel like a breath of fresh air. It's the space that allows your eyes and mind to rest. When placing your plants or decorative items, don't feel like you need to fill every gap. Allow for open areas that enhance the flow of the room. This simple yet powerful idea can completely change how your space feels, turning it into a place where you can truly relax and recharge. As you move forward with your design, consider the sounds that fill your space. In Japanese indoor gardens, the auditory experience is just as important as the visual. The soft sound of water, the gentle rustle of leaves, even the distant hum of a quiet room all add to the sense of calm. If you're not ready for a full-blown water feature, you can experiment with ambient soundtracks or even a small indoor fountain that provides a subtle, continuous noise. This audio layer can help drown out the external noise of city life and create a cocoon of quiet for you to enjoy. It's all about making your indoor garden a multi-sensory experience that nurtures every part of your being. Another key detail is how you choose to decorate the surrounding area. The furniture and accessories in the room should complement the natural elements of your garden. Instead of choosing overly modern or flashy pieces, go for items with a natural, understated feel. For instance, a simple low table in natural wood, a couple of soft floor cushions, or even a traditional Japanese tea set can enhance the overall aesthetic. These details might seem small, but they contribute to a cohesive look that ties everything together. The idea is to create an environment where every item feels like it belongs, a space where nothing seems out of place or forced. One of the most exciting parts of designing your indoor garden is the freedom to experiment and find what works best for you. There's no single right way to bring Japanese tranquility into your home. You might start with a basic layout and then find little tweaks that make the space uniquely yours. Perhaps you discover that a particular type of plant thrives better in one corner, or that a slight adjustment in lighting makes the whole room feel warmer. This process of trial and error is all part of the journey. Don't be afraid to move things around, try new combinations, and even make mistakes. Each adjustment brings you closer to a space that not only looks great, but also feels right. At some point in the design process, you might reach what feels like a breakthrough, a key moment when everything starts to click into place. Maybe it's the moment when you see the soft glow of your water feature reflected on a smooth stone, or when you notice how the natural light filters perfectly through your chosen window spot. These moments are proof that your efforts are paying off. They remind you that every little decision, every small detail is contributing to a larger picture of calm and beauty. It's a feeling of satisfaction that comes from knowing you've created a space that nurtures your well-being. Hold on to that feeling because it's what makes the whole process worthwhile. As we near the end of this journey, let's recap what we've explored today. We started by talking about the need for calm and balance in our hectic lives, and introduced the idea of bringing Japanese style into your indoor space. We looked at choosing the right spot with plenty of natural light, picking a few select plants that bring texture and simplicity, and arranging them in a way that respects the power of negative space. We discussed the role of water features and lighting, and how mixing modern touches with traditional materials can create a harmonious balance. We even tackled the challenge of small spaces and maintenance, all while emphasizing that the beauty of Japanese design lies in its simplicity and intentionality. By following these tips, you can create an indoor garden that isn't just a collection of plants, but a well-thought-out space that welcomes you home every day, with a sense of calm and purpose. Whether you're using a small corner or a full room, the principles we talked about can help you build an environment that nurtures your mind, body, and spirit. This isn't just about interior decoration. It's about crafting a personal retreat that helps you escape the noise and stress of everyday life. Imagine coming home and stepping into a room that feels like a breath of fresh air, a place where you can sit down, relax, and truly be at peace. Every detail matters, from the selection of materials and colors to the placement of each plant and decorative item. It's about creating a narrative within your space, one that tells the story of simplicity, balance, and nature's quiet power. And remember, there's no rush. Take your time to experiment, adjust, and find the perfect combination that resonates with you. Your indoor garden should evolve as you do, reflecting your tastes and the changes in your life over time. Now that you've got a solid foundation of ideas, it's time to put pen to paper, or rather hand to tools, and start designing. Grab your notebook, jot down your favorite ideas, sketch a rough layout of your space, and then start sourcing the elements you need. Whether it's a tiny bonsai, a small fountain, or a carefully chosen piece of natural wood furniture, every component is a building block toward a more serene home environment. I know that sometimes the thought of making big changes can feel overwhelming. But remember, even small adjustments can lead to a big difference in how you feel in your space. Start simple. Perhaps you can introduce one new plant or rearrange your furniture slightly to create more breathing room. Over time, these small tweaks add up, and before you know it, you've created an indoor garden that not only looks beautiful, but also makes you feel truly at home. One of the best things about this approach is that it's flexible. There's no single blueprint that you need to follow. Use these tips as guidelines and let your creativity take over. Maybe you'll combine a traditional Japanese aesthetic with a few elements of modern design that suit your lifestyle. Maybe you'll find that your space evolves with the seasons, with different plants taking center stage as the weather changes. The point is to create something that's uniquely yours, a space that reflects who you are and how you want to feel when you step through the door. To wrap things up, remember that the journey to a more peaceful home isn't just about following trends or copying someone else's style. It's about discovering what makes you feel relaxed and happy, and then making that a part of your everyday life. When you invest time and thought into designing your indoor garden, you're not only beautifying your home, you're creating a personal sanctuary that can help you manage stress, improve your mood, and even boost your creativity. This is your chance to bring a little piece of Japan's timeless tranquility into your modern life. It doesn't matter if you're working with a large living room or a small apartment, the principles remain the same. Focus on simplicity, balance, and natural beauty. With a bit of patience and a lot of creativity, you can create a space that truly feels like a retreat from the outside world. Remember, every element you add is a step towards making your home a place where you can breathe easy, relax, and enjoy the simple pleasures of life. Take a deep breath, let go of the clutter and stress, and start planning the indoor garden that will transform your space into a quiet oasis.